Good evening! Good evening, you lovely people, and welcome to Ben's Camera Show, episode 6, I believe. And last week, well, it wasn't last week, it was a couple of weeks ago, someone in the comments said I appeared fraught. Fraught, that's the word for today, F-R-A-U-G-H-T, I think, and I believe it means kind of like flustered and a little bit freaked out, and, well, I've got so much to show you this week, and I've got so much to show you every week. I decided there's no time limit. I'm just going to relax, going to have a good time. Got all the time in the world until the YouTube runs out of space. So that is pretty much all the time in the world. And this week, well, last week, our little delve into video technology resulted in the lowest rated show I've ever done in its entire month-long run. It seems that I've got a little bit of a niche here, which would be the Super 8 and film camera niche. And some of you don't take to video too much, but I'm not promising anything. I might go back to video next week. Maybe last week was the quality of the guests that turned people off. Of course, this week we don't have a featured guest, but we're going to do the Zoom call-in towards the end of the show. So if anything comes up, if I mention anything you've got a question about, if I just get on your nerves and you want to zoom in and tell me where to go, I'm right here on the internet. I will be giving out the Zoom address a bit later when I'm ready, when I've had a stiff drink and I'm ready to take a few calls. So what have we got this week? What are we doing? What avenue of pleasure shall we delve into? This week, ladies and gentlemen, is Super 8 and film accessories. Accessories. What do I mean by accessories? Well, anything you can buy that's not a camera and not film. Although I will be going through a couple of cameras. Because obviously to demonstrate some of these accessories, I'm going to need a camera to demonstrate them on. Hello to everyone in the chat. Oh, Ben Reynolds says, I like the video show. Can't please all of the people all the time, I guess. Maybe I got low ratings because I was fraught. Fraught. Right, what should we start with? I've got such a pile of stuff. I've got so many accessories to show you. I might even split this into 2 shows. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might run through these so damn quick that I even run out of stuff and have to just go back to the start. And as usual, I have lots of interesting film and video to show you these accessories in action, because that's what Ben's Camera Show is all about. It's not just showing you objects. It's showing you the objects in action, actually being used. Great. Right, let's start off. Well, let's start off with a camera, funnily enough. Oh, but firstly, I have to go into my little box over here. So, someone noticed last week that I was doing the Rent-A-Ghost thing. So, let's do that again, okay? AK. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so happy I've got a new chair. I actually spilled some money on a new chair, so my back isn't hurting this week, which is fantastic. Any time my back's not hurting is a great day. Right, our nitrile gloves are on already. We're ready to go into a camera. Let's have some music. Right, we're going to start off with something called a Bell & Howl Viceroy. I might remember from the first show, I showed you a camera which was like this, pretty much. It was black, it was matte black, and it had a little lens on it. This one was done a few years later. This is about 1956, just towards the end of Bell & Howell's rollout of this particular design. And towards the end, as you can see, they were putting a 3-lens turret on it. This is called a turret. I'm going to assume none of you know anything. So this is a turret, this thing that revolves the lenses around. And if you must know, they came before zoom lenses because each of these is a different magnification. This one's a wide angle, that one's for medium shots, and that one's for close for telephoto. So whichever you wanted to shoot, you would turn it round. Oh, there's something far away. Let's get over to this turret, start shooting, this lens rather. And each of these has these little knobs here. These are in fact more lenses at the same magnification just for the eyepiece, because this is not an SLR camera. What you see through the eyepiece is not necessarily what's going onto the film. So yeah, it was basically the Bell & Howell Viceroy. They called it the Viceroy, believe it or not. Bell & Howell made this camera for the American market. I believe they called it something like the President, the Bell & Howell President. And of course, when they marketed this in the UK, they said, well, no one's going to buy a camera called President. Sounds too American. So they call it Viceroy. That's a nice cutting-edge new title. I believe the Viceroy, I haven't heard anything like a Viceroy apart from the sort of the puppet leader of India that the British installed after they went and subjugated that country in the most brutal fashion possible. So this is a Viceroy. It's got the interesting little slide rule ASA/exposure calculator. And on the other side, we have let's get some proper focusing on this while we're at it. We have our speed select. No, wait, is that the speed? No, that's the footage counter. That'll tick down from 25 to 0 as you're shooting, or maybe 0 to 25. I can't quite remember. And this is your film speed. In fact, it even says speed there. So you got 15 frames a second all the way up to 45. Generally, I just set this to 16 frames a second and have done with it. This interesting looking thing, that is okay. This is complicated. I've gone into this before in a film, but that's your eyepiece. That's what you look through. It's a tiny little hole. But this actually goes through to the lens. So if you want to check which magnification you're getting, you look through this one, then you turn it around and actually shoot with it. Because this one here, that's the position where you shoot it. That's actually shooting your film. That's the lens you're looking at through the eyepiece, and this thing is for looking through the next lens in line. A weird system. Didn't really catch on. Let's wind it up because it is a winder, and it's a decent camera. This. I've shot some nice. I shot some Orwo UN58 on this. Let's see if it works. Yay! Now, here's a little improvement to the show. You're going to like this. I now have a separate microphone just for recording, just for playing you the sound of these actual film motors. So let's have a proper listen first. And also, it's got, I showed you this on the other one, but if you push that up, that's the shutter, by the way. Push down, it starts running the film. Push up, let's get the single frame. Of course, why not? One thing to think about, one thing to consider with these cameras, often with a standard 8 camera, this is, by the way, this is a standard 8 camera. If you don't know what the difference is between standard 8 and Super 8, check out some of my previous shows. Anyway, this is a standard 8, so you put your roll of film here, it goes through, it goes into this roll, and away you go. Now, most of these standard 8 cameras have a kind of a lever or a switch which opens up the gate. I don't believe it. The lens has just come out of my glasses. This has never happened before. It just calmly dropped right the hell. Look at that. Oh my god. This is going to be a little problem because I can't see anymore. I'm going to have to shut this eye. When I finish this, maybe I'll run off and get my my spare pair of glasses. How bizarre. Right. Talking of lenses, maybe I can hold one of these up to my eye. Anyway, so yeah, you would put the film through the gate and it wound up here. But this gate doesn't have a switch to keep it in. And I thought for a long time, oh God, it's broken. It's not staying in. It's a safety feature. It's, well, not so much a safety features as a effort-saving device. Because when you shut this door, it automatically pushes that closed, pushes the gate closed. So here we go, and it's closed, it's ready to shoot. Why am I showing you a camera? I said this was all about accessories, didn't I? I did show you, I did say it's about accessories, and it is about accessories. So the reason why I'm showing you this camera is because this is the only camera of mine that the first accessory even fits. What is that, are you wondering? Okay, here we go. This is exciting. What I got here is the kit for special effects, in inverted commas, 3V Tri-Vision by Davis and Sanford Company from New Rochelle, New York. 3V, is that some sort of like 3D? No, 3V Tri-Vision is this. Wow. The hell? Okay, what it is a device that attaches to the front of your camera with these screws, and once attached, it allows you. Okay, bear with me here. A lot of these things have already got. I've already hooked up to the camera. Oh, I've still got the music on. Jesus, sorry about that, everyone. Right, you put that on the front there. I've got better pictures of this, and I've got video of how this thing works. So what it does is it allows you to film out the front as usual. Okay. Also, there is a half silvered mirror in there at a right angle, which allows you to see out the side as well as the front. So what you can do is you could have a piece of paper on this side, a suitable distance away, with your title on it, and it will be superimposed on whatever it's seeing out the front. I'm going to demonstrate this. Well, I'm not going to demonstrate it because I didn't actually film anything yet with this, which I will do maybe for next week. But once you've put this thing, there we go. Once you've put this thing on the front, it's also got this holder here. So you can actually put stuff, slide stuff in front of the lens, such as, let's see what we've got here, a wipe function. So you could, see? You could also put, what else have we got here? We've got these other things here. This is interesting. This says fade in and fade out strip. This thing's about 100 years old. What this is, it's not going to come out that well with the chroma key here, but it's a strip that you use to actually, it's basically, it's clear. That's better. It's clear, and then it goes dark. So if you are filming and you push that along, your picture is going to go slowly fading out through the most absolutely amazing analog way possible. So you're seeing through the picture, fade out, and then you rewind your film a bit, and then fade back in. You've got yourself a dissolve going on. Let's see a bit of this in action, this interesting device. The Tri-V screening room, yes. Okay, now. So here it is. That's it when it's properly attached to the Viceroy. Yeah. And what I didn't actually use any of those like those weird effects. I just rotated the camera around on the here we go. So I rotated it and I lit part of the room, and other parts of the room were in darkness. So as this is the view from the top, because it's got a little viewfinder. As you go around, you can see all the different, you can see the direction from the side and the direction from the front superimposed on each other. And if I was filming, I would get some kind of effect like that. Looks great. So yeah, I will be trying that and giving it a go for the next show. Oh, we're off to a good start. Actually, we're off to a terrible start. You're going to have to bear with me because I've got to get my other glasses. I can't really present this with one eye shut, looking through the... Oops, no, we don't need that anymore. Looking through the glasses. Look, this is what happened. Look at that. Just this lens fell right on the floor. Right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm off to get my other glasses. I won't be long, I've already got them. They're somewhere in one of these glasses cases has got my spare pair in them. Okay, those are sunglasses. I'd look like a weirdo. Here we go. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's much better. I better get used to wearing these because I'm going to have to take these other ones to the optician. Holy moly. Never happened before. Okay. All right. Are we ready? All right, let's get off the main screen again. You don't want to see my ugly face. Right. Next. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Oh, yeah. This is cool. Okay. I'm cheating a little bit here because you can't buy this in the shops. This was made for me by Mr. X. You can buy something like it in the shops. Well, not in the shops, on eBay. And what it is it's a timer box. Very, very exciting piece of kit. It only has the two buttons. It has an on-off, and it has a timer knob here. And at the other end of this wire is a micro jack, which many Super 8 cameras have fit as standard. They have a socket that this will go into. Now, when I switch this thing on, see that light there? Every time that light goes on, it sends a pulse down this little jack here. If I turn this, the pulses get further apart. So that's 5 seconds. Mr. X has very nicely written that in. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It goes all the way up to about 30 seconds. So you can basically do time lapse with this thing. So the question is, which cameras can you plug this into? Let's have a look. I tried it on a few, and I've got to stop playing the previous film. Okay, I tried it on a few, and let's have a look which it works on. So here's it in action. That is hooked up, I believe, to, yes, my UMIG Macro Sound 65 XL, and as you can hear, it's clicking away. So the camera does not have a intervalometer as standard. Very few Super 8 cameras do. Maybe just 7 or 8 of them have that. But with this thing, as long as it's got one of those micro jacks, you can do time lapses or interval timing on any camera that has one of these jacks. The older ones have got the sort of the thing that, the little neat pin that comes out. So this is on a Bolex 4008. It works on the Bolex as well. I'm pleased to say. You have to put the Bolex on 2 frames a second for this to run. It does it kind of, it cheats it in a bit of a way. Okay. Here's the UMIG Sound XL 125. It needs a decent amount of lubrication. You can hear the chick, chick. You can just tell it's squeaky. It's a bit dry, this one. A review camera, FCE 800. Nice camera, actually. It looks like a piece of crap, but it came out with nice. So yep, off we get nice pictures. So that's working. Yep. The old movie Zoom 2000, and yep, it's working on that. And finally on a Sankyo. So yeah, that's about 5 or 6 cameras that work with this thing. Now, like I said, you can't buy this in the shop. It is electronically, it's an extremely simple piece of equipment. It's just got a battery and sends pulses down there. I can't tell you how to make one yourself because I don't know enough to tell you. But I know that Hammer, H-A-M-A, they made one. And Agfa also made one. and I recently got one, and it was a heartbreak, unfortunately, the Agfa. I'll talk about that on another show. I'm too upset to talk about it on this show. So here it is, a electric timer box. Very, very handy. If I can get Mr. X to give me his schematics, maybe I'll put them up there. I don't want to open it up in case I break it. Now, let's have a look at some comments here. Ben Reynolds says, I need one of these with a physical shutter release. Yes, the physical ones, yes, it is a thing. They have mechanical ones, which will basically give you a one of those other shutter releases with the cable, the needle that sticks out, and it'll poke the needle every so often. I can't say where you to get one. I just saw one on the Facebook Super 8 group. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to something. Right, this is something you on many. I'm doing this now because it takes up a lot of space, and it's a hassle to show you because it's big. Okay, what this is, I'm going to show you this way. Actually, this is going to be a lot simpler if I just use the main camera. Right, you see a lot of these. This is a viewer editor. This one's made by Minette. Let's pull these out here. And if you are familiar with Super 8, you'll probably have seen one of these. Very often, if you buy someone's Super 8 collection, you know, because they died, there'll be one of these in there. And this is what they used to use for editing and viewing Super 8 back before, oh, God, it's heavy. Before it was, well, no, back before they had, you know, computers to do that stuff. And what you do is, you put your roll of film on this side, and on this side you wind it, and there we go. And what is on your film comes up on that viewer. I'm going to try and get that viewer a bit more visible. The problem is they were kind of dim, these things, back in the day, and they still are. Right, I'll get me off there, and here's the. So here's the view. You know what? We probably need to turn the lights off for this. Let's just do that. All right. It's dark here. Out here on the perimeter. There are no stars. Okay. Can we see anything there? There we go. So this is actually a color negative. There it is. Oh, damn it. So it's a horrible picture. Okay, you see some sort of movement going on there. Yeah. In real life, it is about as difficult to see the picture as this. This Minette is actually one of the brighter ones you can get. And some people have reverse engineered these things to they've put a bright LED light on. But really, you know, there we go. That's my mate Jake walking around in Scotland in negative. But what, you know, there's not a lot of use for one of these days. And put the light back on. I mean, if you are a Super 8 diehard and you want to film and edit and project and never have your film touch anything digital, then yep, you'd use one of these, and you could make little marks on the film to see where to cut it and splice it. Did I say splice? Has anyone heard of a splicer? Because that's the next thing. Right, what we got here. Okay, I'll get off the main screen and I'll show you this. Now, splicers. Splicers are what you use to cut and reattach two pieces of Super 8. And there's a couple of different types of splicers. There's this one, which is called a quick splice, which uses little tabs, little sticky tabs there, which you put the film along here. You put the tab face down, face up like this. You pull out one side, you stick it, and then you turn the film over using this, or I think you're supposed to start with this. Yeah, and you turn the film over. It also unwraps the splice tape, and then you push down on the other side with this. I was going to show you one, but anyway, that's the piece of splicing tape. Can't really see it that well. There we go. And that wraps around the film and makes a splice. But I don't do that anymore because you've got to buy these splicing tapes. If you run out of these, you're in shtuck. Yeah. So what I found was, actually I didn't find it. It was in yet another collection of, I just dropped part of it. I'm getting fraught again. This is the real deal. This is what's called a cement splicer. I'm just going to pick up the cement. I just dropped it. Dropping everything today. One could say I'm dropping loads. So I'm actually going to do a splice now. I'm going to show you how these things work because it's useful to know. Okay, cement splicer. Film cement is not the same as, like, you know, building cement. Let's get that out of the way first. It is a kind of liquid, and one of these bottles, well, I can't say how long it lasts because this bottle that I got with this was already half used, and I've never run out. You only need a drop of this stuff for each time you join, or not even a drop, just a smear. I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so you push this button, it opens up that side. This one you have to do manually. Okay, so you've got your two sides here. And one side, you have to understand the difference between the emulsion side and the base side. Okay? Emulsion is where the photographic image is, and the base is the shiny side, the other side. So you put the base side here, and by the way, this does standard 8 as well as Super 8, which is really handy. It fits there. Okay, so that's emulsion side up. Very important to get that right. Locks down very nicely. And on this side, this is base side up, which is the emulsion. Oh, I've screwed up already. That was the wrong side. Right. This is the emulsion. So it has these little knobs here which hold the film, in the sprocket. Shut that there. Now you take this thing, you turn it round, and you don't, it is for cutting the film, but it's also for rubbing some of the emulsion off. So you put it back and forth like this, and then press the guillotine down. Boom, it's made a nice cut there. Now on this side, like I said, base side up. Let me see where the base is. Here it is. There we go, and that goes on there. There it goes. Base. How low can you go? There we go. Okay, same deal. Turn this around, rub it, because the film needs to be rough for the cement to get a good stick. So cut the end off. Now, after you've done the rubbing, there's a little bit of old like bits of film and schmutz and stuff on it. So they give you this little thing, which has got a little brush in it. So you just brush that clean on this side, brush that clean. Then you put one little tiny drop, not even a drop, but just a little smear of emulsion of cement on this side there. Okay, that's nice and cemented. And then, clever bit coming up. All you do, you turn this around like that, and it sticks them together exactly where you rubbed it. It takes, drop the cement again. It takes a few seconds for the cement to stick. And when it's all done, you press this white tab here and opens up, and look at that. A perfect cement join. Film cemented Super 8 is now stuck, and it's stuck well, let me tell you. If I try and pull this apart, well, I will be able to snap it, but it can stand up to some quite decent pulling there. And that's it, and you're ready to make another splice. Now, I will be using this film later. We're going to be showing that film a bit later, and it's useful I put that on there because now I can project it. So this is the Bolex Splicer. It just says Bolex on it. It doesn't say Splicer. It doesn't have a model like Splicer-matic. all those guys need to write is Bolex, and you know you've got a serious piece of kit. So I can recommend this, a cement splicer. They do come up for sale now and then. Often you get them, like I said, in the collections of dead people. Right, now we've done splicers now. Moving right along. Oh, I know, here's a good one. Right, now, haven't you, I have to put myself up on the big screen here. Are you sick of holding a Super 8 camera, filming at immense expense, and then getting it back, and everything's all wavy and jittery because you're not a tripod, and if you put it on a tripod, you look like a weirdo. But if you want to be able to hold a camera really, really well, what you need is to brace it against something, such as your shoulder. And that's why I don't go anywhere without this mother. I've put a camera on it already because it takes a while to hook this thing up. So what it is a shoulder brace with a trigger. So this bit over here is the shoulder. I'll be putting it on in a second. This is just a kind of a strap in case you drop the whole shebang. The camera goes on this platform, which can be moved left and right. Very nice, like that. Okay. And this is a trigger with a cable, a release cable attached to it, which obviously you put your hand over there. And that's why I'm using this Canon 814AZ, because it's got a mechanical release cable. So I put my hand through here, shoulder thing mounts against the shoulder there, finger on the trigger. Oh, and of course I've got some, and then get it. Let's move it to exactly where it should be. It has a release here, so let's move it to about here. That's where my eye can go. There we go. Lock it in place, and then you have basically a shoulder-mounted. Let's hear it. A shoulder-mounted, steady Super 8 kind of shoulder pod, and it doesn't have to be a Super 8. You could put a DSLR on this. It's got a standard tripod screw on it. But really, I mean, you know, I'll tell you one thing. I went to visit Adrian Cousins in Peckham. And we were going to go out shooting. And I brought this. And I really had second thoughts because they're really down on gun crime and down Peckham Way. And if you walk from a distance, I don't know what the hell this thing looks like from a distance. But it's badass. And not only that, but you can actually take this whole trigger mechanism off and just use the handhold. If you've got a Super 8 that doesn't have a handle and it has a release mechanism, you can just screw this into the bottom of this thing. So I'm just going to walk around. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. Oh, there's something over there. I can't stop. I can't put it down now. It feels so cool to have it. Let's see some comments about that, because damn, it's heavy. All this stuff's heavy. That's a superb device, says John Oates. I don't know if he's talking about the shoulder mount or the Russian rifle stock attachment. Yes, Benjamin Marriott, I can't read your surname, but yes, there was actually a Russian gun camera back in the day, which looked even more like a gun than that thing. Don't see a lot of those around there. I think everyone using those has been shot now by security services. So while we're at it, let's have another look at another Super 8 portability device. Now this isn't full disclaimer here. This isn't actually a Super 8 device. This is a general camera device, but I bought it years ago at a camera show, and I've put a Super 8 camera onto it. It's called a SteadyMate, and here we go. You can see better this way. So it's basically a little platform for your camera, a handle that goes in any direction here. And very important, this counterweight here. See, counterweight. So the idea is you can walk around with this thing, filming, and you can move. I was going to say, it stays completely still. You can move your camera, you can move around like that, move your hand around, you can walk around, you can slowly turn it back and forth, you can adjust it, and you can basically use it like a Steadicam. Nice. It's made by a company called Hague, who are British, I think. Hurrah! Rule Britannia. They've made one of these. You can spin it all the way around. Now, I have shot some stuff on this. I'll be showing it you later because it's with some other stuff which I'll be getting to. Right. Oscar, love this show so much. Oh, thank you, Oscar. That's very kind of you. Right, so that's the Steadimate. I wish I could find out the model of it, but I think if you just look up Hague, H-A-G-U-E, Steadimate, you can find one of these, and you could use it for a DSLR. I use it for any camera. That's the secret of the Super 8 enthusiasts, is that we have other cameras too. I guess you could even put a 16mm camera on it. Right, the Steadimate. Oh, we're rattling through these. I don't think we'll need to do the 2 shows. And if anyone wants to come on the Zoom later and chat, I will be sharing the Zoom address. So that's nice. Some background pictures. So what have we got now? What have we got now? Oh, I know what we've got. Okay, just a little. Okay, this is called. This isn't really a. This is just, it's called Cineset. Another thing that came in someone's collection. If you open this up, this is just nice. It's nothing you need to have, but ooh, it's got a whole, basically this is a kind of a counterpart or an accompaniment to a Super 8 splicer, which is you've got bottles of film cement here. You've got a little brush here for, I think, cleaning crap out of a projector. Got a little lens cloth there for polishing the projector lens, and you got 2 rolls of what's this stuff called? Spacer. Well, there's a red one and a green one. I guess it's leader. Anyway, and some here says optic papier, silicon optic paper. I'm not sure what you do with that. Made in Germany. Hurrah. And then it says bitte pierce please. You have to pierce this thing. I'm not sure what the hell this thing is. It's some sort of like protecting agent. Color fresh protecting agent. Good lord. Right, I guess you wipe that on your film. Anyway, it's a nice little thing. Nice little set of kit. Cineset. That's Benjamin Marriott says that's a gorgeous period cine accessory kit. Indeed it is. I don't show you anything if it's not gorgeous. Talking of gorgeous, let's go on to, oh, I didn't see, oh, here we go. I forgot. We didn't see how much one of those Bell and Howl Viceroys is going to cost you. So let's have a look. Oh, no, that's not it. Bell and Howl Viceroy. Here we go. Someone sold one for £25.33. 68. Good lord, that's a lot. And the rest is all old, other crappy Bell and Howl stuff. £12.99. That's the Sportster. Yeah, I think you can get them cheaper than that. Oh, look around, see if you can get that cheaper if you want one of those things. Go to an auction. Anyway, the next thing is called a UMIG Mini Macro Set. Macro Set? Macro spelt with a K? Must be a German thing, or rather Austrian thing. Okay, what the UMIG Mini Macro Set isn't an awful lot necessarily to do with shooting stuff in macro. Excuse me. Looks just like water, doesn't it? The Macro Set is basically a matte box. It's a thing which bolts to the bottom of your UMIG Mini 5. Now, what's a UMIG Mini 5? This is a UMIG Mini 5. I've already done it because it takes a while to attach this thing. Right. This, I've been meaning to do an episode on this. This is one of my favorite cameras. It's called the UMIG Mini 5. It is a very small camera, not quite as small as that little Agfa I showed you the other week. I think we're going to have to get this a bit more zoomed out. There we go. It's not quite as small as the Agfa, but it is so much better. It is basically it's the Jack Russell Jack Russell Terrier of Super 8 cameras. It's a big camera in a small space. It has many useful functions, and the bit here is the macro set, and that is as well. So ignore all that stuff. Just let's talk about the camera for a second here. Now, it has 3 speeds. If I can focus on it. There we go. 3 speeds, 9, 18, and 24. Yeah, don't bother with 24. 9, yeah, it's only good if you're in really low light. Everything comes up very Charlie Chaplin when you go on 9, so stick to 18. Battery, obviously battery test. Now this plus and dot and 0. If you turn this knob, this is the on-off basically, but if you turn this to the solid dot, that's on with normal operation. If you turn it to plus, it's on with backlight control. It will open the iris one stop extra, which is good because this camera does not have a fully manual iris control, which is the one downside of this camera. What it has is a exposure lock. So if you're looking through the eyepiece and you're getting you're getting the wrong exposure, you have to point it somewhere until you get the right exposure, and then push this weird unlabeled button in. Push that in, and it'll hold that exposure. Those of you who are familiar with the Canon 514 will know what I'm talking about with this exposure lock. It's not an ideal system, but man, what are you going to do? The other features of this camera totally make up for it. It is a really good camera, this. So as you can see, it has macro zooms. It has a zoom from 28 to 10. Is that 28? No, 40. Sorry, 40 millimeter all the way to 10. And if you push this button back, it goes into a macro range. So it has macro as well. The focus, that's the focus there. I won't turn it because it's got this thing attached to it. And on the other side, okay, that thing there, that's just for adjusting your eyepiece diopter. There's your run time, how much of your film you've shot. Turn it round. On top, you have motorized telephoto and wide angle. With a camera this size, that's pretty cool. Here is the usual nonsense where you have to push this thing in one way or the other, depending on whether you want the daylight filter engaged or not. See, it's got this key. It's called a key, which is a certain special shape. This is actually the one from my UMIGette, which fits in here because this thing didn't come with one. So you push it in and it takes away the sunlight filter. Now, why they couldn't just put a switch on the side for the sun filter, I do not know. Oh well. Anyway, let's open it up. And not particularly amazing in here. You've got 2 batteries, only takes 2 AA's. No separate battery for the light meter, I'm pleased to say. And if we can see closely here, I think there's just one button there to determine your cartridge ASA. So yeah, it will basically meter 40 or 160, which with today's stocks that translates to 50D or 200T. You could probably put the Ektachrome in it and the Tri-X. So yeah, you've got a small selection. But of course, with this you can meter any way you want. So you could put a 500T cartridge in here. When I start shooting, it makes a horrible screeching sound like this. Oh, let's get the mic on here. Okay, so here's what it sounds like. Yeah, it's a bit of a screamer. However, it runs fine. It's never failed to pull the film through. So that's the UMIG Mini 5. And before I get on to the macro set, because this is some cool shit I'm going to show you here, I'm going to show you, let's see how much one of these will set you back. You are going to pay for a UMIG Mini 5, £8.50 that one sold for. And it says tested, £8.50, $4.20. I like the sound of that. $4.20 for one. I mean, damn, this is pocket change. This would cost you less than it would cost to take the tube into town to the Super 8 shop to buy one. There is no Super 8 shop. £8, £4. These things are a bargain. And the macro set is also cheap. The macro set, $9.99. $9.99. Let's see what you get in the macro set and exactly what's going on with this macro set. Okay, let's get that off. Right, what do you get in the macro set? We're going to go a bit in depth here because there's some cool stuff to show you. That's just a lens cap. Let's get that away. Right, now a lot of this stuff is empty because I've already fitted it onto the camera. The deal is here is that you can put this thing, you screw that to the bottom and it has a thread so you can screw the whole thing onto a tripod. I'll show you what that does later. The real business end is this thing. Now, this thing attaches to the end of it just pushes onto the end of your lens. And it's got these two things here, which hold a variety of things on it. So, like I showed you with the other one, it's got the wipe. Yeah, all right. What else have we got? We've got, and this is fun. This is really fun. You've got a keyhole or a binocular. So if you know in the movies when someone's looking through a binocular, and then it shows what they're showing, what they're watching, what they're seeing, and you see this. It's all black. Well, I'm going to show you in a minute. In reality, when you look through binoculars, you only see a circle. You don't see this shape. So that's just me being pedantic. You can also put on this thing a slide. You could create your own slide. This is one that came with it, which has got this interesting kind of surround. You'll see that. I'll show you that in a second. So you can put a slide on there and shoot through the slide. You could have some cool special effects. In fact, next week we're going to be talking special effects, just special effects on Super 8 with the great Paul Tarago. That's a little preview there. What else have we got here? Now these are good. These I made for a film that I made about, what's eBay doing on there? Let's get that out there. A film made about split screen. I made these myself out of slide mounts and some black, I don't know what it is, some plastic. So this is for quarter screen and this is for half screen. And the idea is you can just put that on there like that, shoot half your film, rewind the Super 8. I'll be getting onto all of that later. Rewinding Super 8. It's easier said than done. It's not even easier said. And then you can change the position of it and film a little bit more and come up with a Super 8 split screen effect. Now like I said, I've made a film. Go to my YouTube after this show if you can't get enough of me, and have a look at a film I made called Split Screen Super 8 where I did all this stuff. But let's see one other thing, of course. This long thing here has got a holder at the end, and you can hold a title card. So if you wanted to do the whole, silent movie kind of thing, you put that in there, it grabs it, it holds it, see, and then you film it. So you can film your title there, and it'll hold it nice and steady. You could even put some kind of transparent thing there to have an overlay. There's so much you can do. You're only limited by your imagination. Let's see what kind of rubbish I came up with my imagination. Come with me and we'll be in a I'm going to get done by YouTube. Okay, here we go. So the macro set demo. Right, so yeah, that's what it looked like when what you're going to see, I filmed on my camera, on my phone. So that was the phone at the back and the binoculars thing at the front there. And we'll see in a second. Okay, this is the view, obviously, from the what I filmed on the phone. That's with that slide, that surround slide, which is an interesting effect. What else did I film? I filmed a robot and a skeleton. And there, yeah, this is me trying to do the wipe, the diagonal wipe. Doesn't look that good with the phone, but meh, good enough. What have we got next? Oh yeah, here's the okay, this is when I wound up the robot and filmed it through the keyhole. Through the keyhole. And when the red light comes on, that's when I was filming. Here we go. Yeah, so when you're filming in this, that's what comes on, the viewfinder as you're filming. Very useful for UMIG, thank you, showing you when you're burning up film. And there's the view of the robot, and then I filmed a bit more. What did I film? We'll be seeing a bit later what I filmed. I'm teasing you again. There we go. Very nice. So that was the UMIG macro set. You can do all sorts of effects which would take you all of 5 minutes to do on Adobe Premiere, but you can do it all in film. Right, what have we got next? Oh, okay. A couple of light meters. I know what you're thinking. Boring. Light meters. Who cares about light meters? Well, these are cool, these light meters. I might need my phone to provide some light for this. There we go. Right, now this came with a Lycina. Now this is a very interesting old kind of light meter. Let's focus on it there. Okay, so what we do first, we set our ASA by turning this dial here. I'm going to set it on 100. And then the light goes in through the end here. But how does it tell you? Well, this little tiny flap here, this is so cool. This little tiny flap here has got a circular piece of film inside with a couple of, it's going to be really hard to show you this. Let's put the light here. So it's got two circles inside there. See if I can get them. And what you have to do is you have to probably have I've turned it so that they are they're invisible. Which would be a dumb thing to do. Let's see if I can just hold it like that. Okay, right. So you turn this. There they are. Okay, so you got two circles there, and you turn this. As one is a circle, the other one's got a cross in it. You turn it, and so until all you can see is the right hand one. Now you can see them both here because I've got this bright phone light. So let's get rid of that. Where are they? So the idea is that when you've, actually this is probably better. When you've turned this to the point where you can only see one of those circles, I can't see either of them now. Then this thing turns around, and that's basically measuring how much light you're seeing. You see? You get me? You get me? You get me? Can't see them here. Damn, this stuff is easier to do when you're not trying to show the whole world. Let's try one more time. I don't think I have enough light to show you. Where have they gone? Well, anyway, you saw those circles. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's one, and there's the other one. Okay, so you see two of those. I'm going to turn this, turn it until the left one gets dimmer, and dimmer until we've only got one there, right? Then, once you've turned that, that's measured your amount of light. And then you line up your shutter speed. You find your shutter speed, which at 18 frames a second at 180-degree shutter angle would be 1/36th of a second. So you go to 1/36th of a second, doesn't have it, it's only got 25 and 50, and then you read down, and that tells you f8. And that's how this thing works. Now, those two circles I showed you before, they're on a piece of like translucent film, and that thing could have darkened or fogged with age. So I don't know how accurate this thing is. I have cross-checked it with a light meter app, and it did pretty much agree with what the app said. This light meter is a Russian one. It's made by our friends Lomo, I think. Lenco 7 or something. Same kind of deal. You check your light reading here. You set your ASA, and you turn this thing until the reading of the light meter, the index, exposure index, corresponds with your well, you turn it to, so the exposure index goes against that arrow there, and then you read off, a bit like an old slide rule, you read off your shutter speed, and that will give you your f-stop that you need. Now, obviously, people like Sekonic made much better light meters than this, and nowadays, you know, they're all battery powered and very accurate and digital. But that's an old analog light meter. Oh, right. What have we got next? What have we next? Ah, right. This is going to be fun. Okay, you know, I said that about earlier on. I talked about doing a dissolve on Super 8, and to do a dissolve, you have to be able to wind your film backwards, and some cameras are able to do that, the very high-end ones. If they don't do that, then you need one of these. This is called a Craven Backwinder. And I know that Craven Backwinder sounds like an insult that soldiers give each other if someone's run away from the middle of the battle. Like, oh, he's a Craven Backwinder, he is. But no, Craven's the company. And it just says frames. That's all this thing does. It's completely featureless, except for this thing that just says frames and a knob which turns freely. Now, what's inside there? What's inside is a bunch of instructions. Okay, let's forget about those for now. And then nothing. So when I first got this, I thought, oh, someone's screwed me here. This bloody box is empty. How's it supposed to backwind anything? Here's the clue. See that thing there, that little toothed cog there? That is what you're turning when you turn that knob. And the idea is that you put a cartridge into there like that. You tighten it up so you get it seated really nice like that, and shut it, and then you turn it back a few frames there. Now, as we know, Super 8 cartridges don't take kindly to being rewound. They don't like it. And I'm going to show you why, because this is a Katsiema, the reloadable cartridge, which I have loaded with some white leader to show you, lovely people. If I can get it out. Oh, damn it. To show you people what's actually going on inside a Super 8 cartridge. Damn! A Super 8 cartridge is a complicated thing, and sometimes you might wonder how it works. Well, thanks to Soviet Union, we can see. If I can ever get the damn thing open. There we go. So, this is the take-up side of a Super 8 cartridge. It has this wheel which turns, and it takes up the film that has come past the gate. Now, this isn't actually the winding mechanism of one of these. This is only to take up the slack. The actual mechanism that's pulling the film, pushing the film through, is the claw, which is grabbing each of these holes and pulling it along a bit. And this is only just bringing up the slack. It's not supposed to go like that. It's supposed to be... Okay, it's supposed to go around this side, but it doesn't matter. The Craven Backwinder, what it does, let's do this properly so we can, I don't want to give out false information here. There we go. So your supply side is on here. That's your unshot film. I might show you that later. So it comes through. Now the backwinder, once you've shot some, you need to backwind it. So the backwinder actually pushes the film along there and back and pulls up just enough of it, like I think 20 frames maybe if you're lucky. It gets it, pulls it through, and it pushes it back into the supply side. Now the cartridge hasn't been designed for this, so there's only a short distance you can actually pull that. So the backwinder pushes it back into there, you put this back into the camera, you start filming again, and you once again film the film that's already been through. Now I guess you'd have to take the cartridge out of the camera and put it in the backwinder, all inside a light changing bag, otherwise a bag, because otherwise it's going to be exposed. The very bit you want to double expose has been exposed. So yeah, it's a clunky method, and it's one that I haven't actually used, the Craven Backwinder. I got enough backwinding going on with Standard 8, which is much easier to do if I want that effect. And to be honest, you know, I think this would probably do a good job of tearing the perforations in the hull before it actually does any proper rewinding. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't really trust it. So that's a cartridge. I'm going to do another episode all about using these cartridges, by the way. So hold off on your questions about that. Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock already. Holy moly, time has flown. What have I got left? Oh my God, yes. Okay. This is. I would like to say this is fun, but it's actually extremely frustrating. It's a press grip titler. Okay, before they did titles, and if you didn't want to do your, writing it down, you wanted something more professional looking, you got this layout card. What have we here? Press grip. It's what it is. It's a very heavy piece of kind of plastic vinyl here with this thing under it. And what you do is you take letters, preformed letters, oh crap, which you can buy. Here they are. Okay. Look at that. Every single compartment in there is a different letter of the alphabet, plus numbers as well. And the idea is you take one, so that's a letter, God knows what letter that is. What the hell is that? See, this is the problem with this particular set, is that it's this bizarre typeface that it takes quite a while before you work out exactly what letter that is. That could be a... Okay, we'll put a pin in that. These are not in some kind of weird code. It's actually a kind of a cursive font here, which I wish I could have done something in advance. Oh, there we go. Capital F there. So the idea is that you extremely laboriously, let's get this out of the way, take each of these letters, press them onto this plastic. There we go. And it's hope to God that the thing will stick. And then you take the layout card away and voila. See, there's your backing. And quite often, if you look at people's really old Super 8 films, like the ones that are before titling, what is that? A P? A Q? Oh, it's an A. Okay, so you can FA. Ah, we're partly the way towards writing family holiday. Give us an F. Go far. I'm just taking these out randomly, so I'm just going to try and just think of a Let's see, what's the next random letter? T. Hooray! We've done a fart. So you can choose a red background or a black background. Well, that's actually green. That's black. Black fart or blue. So the idea is that you would create your entire title on this using this thing as a guide, and then film it, and then have a nervous breakdown, and then spend hours and hours and hours resorting all of these to correspond to every one of them as in its correct cubby hole. And you can see someone's actually written the letters there. That's in pen. P, Q, R, S. Someone actually went and did all that. Unfortunately, these things are completely jumbled up. So let me just put my fart back in there. And at some point, maybe when I'm been put under house arrest for whatever reason, I will sit down and I'll sort every single one of those out, and then probably drop the box on its way back to the shelf. Yeah, so that is the press grip titler. I didn't ask for it. It came with a whole bunch of other stuff, and I didn't really get round to titling any of my films with that. I would love to know what typeface that is. Maybe someone who's a typeface expert can tell me what that typeface is, that weird typeface. Oh, right. What have we got next? Right, that's pretty much all the... last one. Last accessory. And last accessory. And this is something which, you know, anyone will get at any camera shop, but I'll show you in a minute why I like this. Can you guess what it is yet? It's a monopod. It's a monopod. There's the screw mount there. You put your camera on it. Then let me put the main one on. There we go. So yeah, so just that size. If you flip this, the whole thing comes out like that. Pull it even further. Anyway, you get the idea. And you put your camera on the top of there. The reason I like this is this. It's made by Bolex. Bolex had an unbelievable amount of accessories that they sold. Let's put that up there. Focus it. I don't know why I have to show you this, but just to prove. Bolex Payard. They made their own monopod, even though you could probably get them anywhere. But I'm telling you, when you put a Bolex B8 on one of these jobbies, oh my God, you feel like you're pimping it hard with one of these. Right. Let's have some feedback from the audience. Oh God, I'm slightly nervous about this. Okay, I am putting in the YouTube chat right now the Zoom link. If anyone has Zoom, wants to come on the show and talk about cameras or about any of these accessories I've shown you. Let's put a little music on. And oh my goodness, is that already? Is there someone here already? Let's put my headphones on. All right. No, no one's here. Okay, Corey says, I just got a Bolex EBM. Any tips? Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. An EBM. EBM, that's very close, very much like the SBM. Is it the electric one? That's a 16mm Bolex, isn't it? I'm actually going to do, here we are. I'm going to do an episode all about Bolex, all about 16mm cameras. I have a Bolex EL, And I know there's something you shouldn't do about the electrics. That's very easy to fry the motherboard or fry the electronics inside the Bolex EL. Bolex EBM. I'm trying to think what the difference is between that and a Bolex SBM. Yeah, no, nothing comes to mind about tips. I mean, most of what I told you about standard 8 cameras can also apply to 16mm cameras. So, you know, good luck to you. Develop your own film if I were you. No one's into the Zoom tonight, I don't think. I'm getting a bunch of excuses. Very valid excuses. But let's wrap it up, shall we? I mean, that was Ben's camera show. Oh my god, what am I doing? I forgot that I've got more stuff to show you in the screening room. Oh lordy, I've completely okay, right, here we go. Okay, remember the Agfa episode I did where I made that I got that Agfa movie chrome film and I overcooked it in the developing because I'm an idiot. And well, I shot and developed the rest of it in the UMIG Mini 5. So now I'm going to show you some Agfa movie chrome in the shot on the UMIG Mini 5 and developed this time 2 minutes and 40 seconds at 41 degrees. It came really, really, really fast. Now, when it came out, it looked like this. It was purple because I put it in ECN2, which is actually a negative developer that I sometimes stick. But when I reversed it, I got this. And we've got colors. And the natural kind of color is very, very kind of golden. So I made sure not to put my sun filter on, because if you put the sun filter on, you get not this. That's just a test. So this is the UMIG Mini 5. Nice clear image. And if you put the sun filter on, it goes all very, very orange like this. You lose some of your blues and greens. But I took the sun filter off and I went indoors and I filmed some neon light at an art exhibition. And you can probably tell where I went, considering that there's the Tate Modern right there. This is just before it closed again because of the lockdown. So that's with the sun filter on, and then there we go. You're actually getting close to some realistic colors on this Agfa. That room was all lit in yellow, so that's not my fault. Yeah, look, there we go. Some nice some colors there. So that was expired in 1989. That Agfa, and I've gone away. So yeah, that was some nice footage. If I get hold of some more Agfa movie chrome, or even Agfa chrome, I'm going to try it again in the ECN. Now, what else have we got? What else did we get? Right. Yes, the Fomapan developing. The Fomapan, which I'm going to show you in a minute. This is what I got. Make a note or get a screen cap. This is what I used to develop Fomapan R100 in a reversal fashion. Ilford LC29 developer, good stuff for black and white, always does the job. And this is the bleach I use. Now, if you don't do a reversal developing on Fomapan, it will be very, very dense. The picture will be almost impenetrable. You can see through it just about with an extremely bright light, but it's no good for scanning and almost no good for projection. You will still need to bleach it if you develop it as a negative. And to be honest, if you're going to make bleach and you're going to do the whole bleaching, why not just do it as a reversal? I mean, there's not much point really doing it as a negative if you have to do all the bleaching. Let's see the process. This is my process, my Fomapan reversal process. I put it in the LC29 for 7.5 minutes. Well, you can read. Permanganate bleach, 3 minutes. I think I might have done 4 minutes today. Yeah, don't go more than 4 minutes. I think after 3 minutes I started to drain it. Some sodium metabisulfate clearing bath. Yeah, you don't really need it. It does help with contrast, but I found you can just give it a good rinse. The Metabolic sulfate clearing bath is basically, it gets rid of all the permanganate very quickly. Then expose to light again, and then put it in the second developer. Only took 5 minutes in the LC29, and then wash, fix, rinse, hang up, and project. And that's what I did today. That's right, I did all of that stuff today. And I used the shoulder pod, and I also used the, no, I didn't use the shoulder pod. I used the Steadymate, the Steadicam. So let's have a look, see how that all came up. Firstly, here we have the robot footage. No, that's not a robot. That's my mate Alan, smoking a cigar. Okay, this was something else I shot on that film. Yeah, sorry about all those bits and pieces on the picture. I don't know what happened. I was in a real rush. I did this all in 1 hour from start to finish. I did a reversal. Here we go. Hey, that's the robot through the keyhole. Through the keyhole. The keyhole looked a bit blurred because I was focusing on the robot. And there's another robot which just went mental, as they do. It went mental and it kicked the crap out of the other robot. There we go, before dying. So, and here's with the Steadicam thing. Not bad. I mean, of course, I'd have to do it handheld to see how it looked. I think I could use that again. And finally, yay! Oh crap! I just realised I left that thing stuck to that junction box outside. So people are going to walk past and think, "Is this where Ben's camera show is taking place? Inside that box?" No, no, no. Right. That's all of that. Fine. Yes, tick that off. Someone said it was too thank you. I developed negative and thought I did something wrong. It was too dense. Yes, I did that. And you know what? In some of my early films, I've got to confess, I was also developing foam pan as a negative, and it was coming up super dense. And I was advising people to try the same thing, which I really shouldn't have done. I need to go back and put a erratum on some of those early films of mine, because the foam pan really doesn't. It's not like Tri-X. Tri-X can be done as a negative, but foam pan really wants to be reversal. Or if it's going to be a negative, then bleach it and then do a negative. If you Google, there's a guy called Petko Lordanov who has experimented with foam pan, and he's put the results, I think, on Vimeo or YouTube. Yes. So he's the one I defer to with foam pan as a negative. Petko Lordanov, great guy, one of my Super 8 buddies over there. Right. Are we ready for some live Super 8 film? I know this is always it's always screwed up one way or the other, but we're going to try again. We're going to try yet again. I'm going to try and show you a film which screwed up the first time because that's a good sign. Yay, that's a good sign. All right, the DSLR is, yay, the DSLR is working. This screwed up the first time because the projector bulb went. I've got a bulb in it now, and now it looks like the DSLR is working as well. So I'm very excited now. Benjamin Merritt says, lovely Fiat 500 there. You know what? I didn't even notice. I'm not, cars are all right, but they don't turn my head. Right. All right. This time, this is going to work. And, I say this every time and it jinxes it totally, but I got a good feeling this time. So here's a film that I shot, just in 1990, I think. No, it was winter of 89. Yeah. I was just about to go off to university, and I was having a little party, and I brought out the Super 8 camera, and me and my mates, we had, he says, I'm sorry, would you mind repeating your points on the Bolex? My computer crashed. I didn't really have a lot to say about it. These camera shows are all being recorded and can be watched back at any time. So if you missed anything, go back. I don't have a lot to say about the Bolex. I'm going to do an episode about Bolex 16 mils. I'm a bit intimidated by them, to be honest. Let's have a look at the film. Oh, I hope this works. Yay! That's my mate Von. He's talking into the microphone there because this was sound film. Let's see if I can improve the focus at all. Answer, not really. Well. Oh, we all look so young. People are drinking. They're smoking indoors. They're not wearing masks. It was a different time, after all. There's me. Talking crap, probably. And, of course, someone else is filming it. Let's see if I can get that. And not bad for Kodachrome 40. This was Kodachrome 40 this was filmed on. That's my mate Nicholas Dibley. That's he died this year. So this is in memory of you, Dibble. Nicholas Dibley died very, very suddenly. It was a terrible thing. We don't know if it was COVID. But yeah, we all miss him. And now the light that came from him is impregnated onto the emulsion. And it will always be there. Oh, look, some more people turning up. Yeah, the party's really happening here. It's a sausage fest. No, there's a couple of women there. Ties. I wonder where he'd been. Oh, there's Toby. Hey, Von again. And Jap. And Toby. None of this means that you don't know any of these people, but still, this is Kodachrome 40 back in the day. Not bad. 40 ASA, indoors at night. I think the camera I used was the 514 XLS. So XL. XL is good for low light. What's going on here? I believe at this point we'd all gone and seen Total Recall. And we're trying to recreate the moment when Schwarzenegger has to put a wet towel on his head. It all made sense at the time, somehow. Yeah, if the sound head worked on my hey Richard, get in touch, Richard, if you're watching. Haven't heard from him for ages and ages. Yeah, very 80s haircut. Half of these guys are bald, probably. Yeah, the party's really getting going now. And I would have got away with it if it weren't for you damn kids. There we go. Yay, finally. Finally it worked. The projector worked. It calls for some music. There we go. Oh. And I think we'll call it to a halt there. This has been Ben's camera show. And this has been the first Ben camera show. It's been the first of my camera shows with no guest. I invited you all to chat with me via Zoom. Maybe it's for the best that no one came. No one came to my party. I can see you're all out there. Thank you all for doing the commenting. Maybe have a quick look at the comments before I sign off, just in case anything really, really important was missed. Great. Thanks again, Ben. Oh, well, that's obviously at the end. Who's wandering the same Nizo? I'm just reading these out of context. Wicked. Love this show so much. Oh, all is nice. All right. These replacement glasses aren't very good for reading close up like that. So I think we will just sign off there. Next week, I will be delving into... It's the worst green screen ever. Next week, I shall be delving into the world of Super 8 special effects using some of the items that you've seen here. That's right. I shall be trying to do... I've made a list of everything possible that can be done special effect-wise with Super 8. And let me tell you, some pretty cool things can be done. Put the proper light back on. There we go. And I'll be talking to the great Paul Tarago, who is a special effects meister and animator, and he knows a thing or two I'll be talking to him. And the week after that is, oh yes, it's the Canon 814 XLS and the 1014 XLS. They were going to be tonight, but my guest couldn't make it, so, and I'm saving them for when he's on, because he knows a thing or two about these cameras. So that's it. That was Ben's Camera Show, and I'll be back next Thursday at 7 o'clock. Thank you all for tuning in, and if you're not watching me live, then thanks also for bumping up my number of YouTube hours. Eventually, I will get to the fabled 40,000 or whatever it is when I can actually start monetizing this show. Hurrah! And drop me a line. I'm going to be sticking around on I don't know, on Zoom. I don't know, on YouTube. I don't know if this YouTube chat closes when I finish the show. So yeah, I think if you have to look at the replay, and it's a different chat box. YouTube's weird. It's got live chat and it's got other chat. So yeah, great. Thanks for coming, and tell your friends. Come back next week. I'll be here. Got nowhere else to go. And to all of you, good night and happy shooting. And that's it. Bye, everyone. If you asked, by the way, if you asked a question earlier in the chat and I didn't get to it, I will be reading them out next week and replying then. That'll get you back. Bye.